Yay!
Then let's go live on Facebook. Are you okay if I call this Money Mindset?
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. That sounds good to me.
Perfect. Yeah, so I've got a list of oils that I can just pull from. So I'm just going to kind of just be bouncing off of you.
Beautiful. That sounds great to me. Yeah, I love the interview style that you and I do, so I'm always open to that.
Perfect. Okay, let me change this so it's actually, we can see both of us. Here we go. How beautiful. And
Yay!
okay, hello everyone. We are here today to talk about money mindset. So I have brought my incredible friend Jackie here to really dive in on what she teaches. And I'm just going to pair some oils on how to extend this journey that you're on and expand your mind and make things move a little faster for you. So I'm going to give the table to Jackie.
Man, I love this. Hello, you guys. I'm ecstatic being here. I always love hanging out with Marissa and really bouncing ideas off of each other. And really, we are such a great duo team. And I'm really excited to dive deep into something that I'm really passionate about and that I also teach my clients. And just a little bit of a backstory with me. I have been a coach for a couple years now. I have a lot of experience within owning businesses. Also went to Western Michigan for my degree in entrepreneurship. So it's allowed for me to really become passionate in what I do. And it's cool how life kind of trickles down and is like different waves and different creations. And I help individuals with their finances. So I really have come to know the fact that it's so important to know where your financial health stands and how to heal that specific part of it. And really it all dials down to your mindset and the way that you approach your money. And I know Marissa and I have always talked about this as well too. Like energy is so powerful within money. It is an energetic exchange. So I'm really excited to kind of dive deeper into that and really really with like money mindset as well too. Like what would really give forth to everyone on here, Marissa? What would they love to know more about?
Yeah, so I think that it's just really looking at what our money mindset is now and what we want it to be. And is it our story that we're telling, or is it maybe a generational story that we've been taught that we're telling? So before we even get started, you guys saw I just put on an essential oil, and I actually grabbed Valor. And Valor is the oil for confidence and courage. And so when we're always talking about money, I like to start with that blend because it just reminds us that we have to gather data first. We have to know where our foundation is, where we stand right now, so that we can push ourselves forward. Because if we don't know where we are, maybe we're going on a wrong direction that we don't have to be going on.
My gosh, I love that you paired Valor with that too, and bringing in the fact of knowing the direction, because that's really what I help people do. I help them build a financial GPS to get to certain aspects within their financial journey. And that all stems down to, where do you know your money is going? How is it being manifested into your life? Are you saving up for an amazing trip or journey that you're wanting to go on to? Are you wanting to save this specific amount or X amount for retirement? Is your assets protected? That is such a crucial one that I always love to dive deep into, because that is the pure foundation of our finances. Because when you are building something, you always want protection. And that's really like, I love that you tied valor into that, because that is really the foundation of what I'll be talking about today. And I love to describe it to my clients as the financial house. So I'm excited to dive deeper into
Oh,
that.
I love hearing about your house and how you make it just so simple. One of my favorite parts about working with Jackie is actually we have a very similar mindset of we like taking big ideas and bringing them down and kind of focusing on them like this. How can we look at all of the things and then
Yes.
almost put our blinders on and say, okay, here's the one action goal that we need to focus on most right now because this is what's most important.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
yay,
No,
I'm super excited.
I love that. No, I'm glad that you bring up like the blinders attribute, and that like honestly that hyper focus that we really need, because I work with a lot of individuals and even my clients as well with the reaction we have towards money. And that's really where it all stems down to in the financial house. So I'll kind of be showing you guys how I create that visual. But really when it comes down to our reaction, how do we approach it when money is being manifested in our life? Is it being put towards our house? Is it being put towards maybe an investment that we have, or car repairs? There's so many different ways that even Marissa brought up as well too, that our reaction usually stems from what we were taught. How were we
Yes.
raised? And from a psychological standpoint, our reaction to money, and also I tie it a lot into like the energetic standpoint of chakras, but really our reaction stemmed from 0 to 2 years old. That's
Mm-hmm.
where we learned our reactions. That's where we learned our expressions. And when it came down to that, we saw how our parents, maybe our grandparents, maybe things that were a story was told about money that we were like, well, I'm going to claim that story as my own then, because that's all I
Mm-hmm.
really know. And
Yep.
that's really when it comes down to all of that reaction and the way that we maybe speak about money, the way that we maybe approach, like, oh my gosh, I have to invest in that again. Like a lot of that comes down from how did our parents do it? Maybe they talked about, like, oh my gosh, another car repair. Well,
Yep.
I always recommend switching that mindset and be like, wow, I am so grateful that I have the money to actually put forth into that, put forth into this roof I have over my head, this foundation that I'm building in my life. And
Yes.
that's where it comes down to, in that foundation. So
I love that. And I love that you brought up gratitude. Gratitude is actually another oil I wanted to talk about. So, gratitude is a blend that really reminds your brain to focus on what is good. And you know what? Even on those days where nothing good happens, you can say, I'm so grateful that I was able to wake up and breathe today. I'm so grateful that I was able to wake up and see what is around me today. Maybe we're not in the direction that we want to be going, but we're able to now see the direction that we could go on, and we just need to pivot and change. So gratitude oil is a great one to diffuse while we're sleeping, and also have on hand for those moments where we really feel just like that negative self-talk coming in about all of the things that we have to do just with our day-to-day life.
I love that. I love that you bringing gratitude oil into play. What are the different components of the gratitude oil?
Oh, girl, there are so many in the blend. So all of these that I'm talking about today with Young Living, there's a ton of different oils in the blend. Sometimes it's 2 oils, and then sometimes it's,
Okay.
50 to 60 oils. So specifically in gratitude, there's, let's see, bring in my brain around to it.
No
so,
worries.
so there are, like, thinking through the things. Okay, frankincense is the main one that is in there. Myrrh is another one. Ylang-ylang is one of my favorites, and I actually talked about ylang-ylang in our chakra class that we did a few days ago. And bergamot, and then one of my favorites is Northern Lights Black Spruce. So those are just a few. I know there's a few more in there, but those are the ones that are popping up in my brain. And so what an essential oil blend does is it brings all of these single oils and magnifies them together and creates this higher frequency of an essential oil that you can then grow to be in that mindset of that higher place.
Wow. So I love all the different blends and components that you brought up, because those are very grounding scents and very grounding attributes that welcome into the body. And that's that just pairs so well. I love how you brought that up, because that was where our foundation comes from, and the way that we really start to build, okay, that financial house that we're talking about. Because usually the grounding and the foundation is where our protection is at. And this really co-creates with, I love that we're all connected, even with Naomi's presentation as well, with the root chakra. That's where our foundation is at when it comes to money. So that stems anywhere from, how am I going to protect my money? Life insurance. How am I going to make sure that I can build it sound and sturdy? Investments and assets. So that's really where like a lot of that financial like talk and the way that we start to build. And sometimes the way that our parents talked about these certain financial assets is going to be manifested into our financial house. So if there wasn't, maybe there wasn't positive talk about life insurance, or maybe there wasn't positive talk about investments, that will tend to affect your financial house as you build it for your future.
Yeah, absolutely. And these are one of the things where it kind of starts tapping into limiting beliefs. And so these stories that we're telling ourselves can actually be called limiting beliefs if they aren't allowing us to grow, if they're holding us back. And these are just, like we said before, stories that we've told ourselves, and they're now our reality. So with this, I like to pair the oil blend acceptance. And so this is so you can accept the past and move forward with your foundation, with your root chakra, and then move forward to the next level of building your house.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that. And it's amazing too, because as you start to build, you start moving into the framework. So kind of move into that aspect of literally finances. This is where we approach, how are we going to get to our destination? And that comes from a lot of self-confidence. It comes from a lot of our powerhouse, I would say. Yes. And this can be anywhere from building savings accounts, building different attributes to get you to your journey or your goal that you want in life, and maybe even paying off debt along the way. And how I really start to like kind of create this is, how do we invest our money, and how do we feel we are worthy of our money? And that's really where a lot comes into play is, are we worthy of, do we feel like we're worthy to get to the final destination? Are we worthy to make that income that we are really wanting to make, to invest into these different areas? And that always comes from our story, like telling ourselves every day, even through words that we speak out, oh, I can't afford that, or man, must be nice. Like there's so many different things that we speak out, and just like a switch, we can become really conscious with our language and be like, wow, I can afford that. I will afford that. And Marissa and I have really talked about conscious language. She really taught me a ton about that. And I'm like, wow, that really pertains with the way that we approach our money mindset. And it allows for people to be like, I will have it. I will do this. I will have that. I will have that lack of that ceiling cap with my income that a lot of others do.
Yes.
And honestly, that's where that power drives you. And that's where that framework comes in within the financial house.
And I wanted you guys to notice how different Jackie just came out and said those statements when she started talking about conscious language, which is something I teach on quite regularly. But her whole demeanor changed when she said, I will, we will. You know how that feels when you say, I will do something? Your entire body almost pushes yourself forward, like, hello, this is going to happen. This is reality right here. So our words are so powerful, and we have to be reminded of that. So I'm so thankful to have people like Jackie who we can have these convos with, and then she can also catch me. So if I'm saying something that maybe isn't in the correct conscious language for me to move forward with my goals and dreams, then she can step in and say, hey girl, we got a conscious language that sentence. How can we do it together? And then we work together on a way to grow and really create some magical, powerful sentences. And yes, it's so simple. It's not anything complicated other than the words that are coming out of your mouth and how you feel when they come out.
Yes, no, I love that you bring that up as well too, because that really aligns with this, because I've done a lot of research behind the psychology aspects of how we have grown and rooted in our stories that we tell ourselves. And there's an amazing book that there's two actually that I'm going to recommend. I love The Eastern and Western Mind. I can't quite remember the author right now, but that one has really touched my life in ways of, so from 0 to 5, from 5 to 12, 12 and so on. This is how we have been told our stories throughout our life. And it pertains to a lot of how our chakras are built as well too, which is amazing that that's really starting to co-create here. And what I love that you say conscious language, the way that we've spoken, this starts to be formed when we are 5 to 12 years old, because that's when we're really learning how to speak, how we're listening to others, how we hear the stories that our parents have said, our grandparents, maybe our siblings. And that starts to create our power, and where we're like, okay, so I'm seeing how my parents' financial house is laying out, is like how I like to call it, or maybe my grandparents. And that's where that generational factor comes in, because it's like, wow, like maybe my parents didn't have a lot of money. Maybe they were abundant within their money and they had a healthy mindset towards money. Either way, we have learned about that and created that belief for ourselves. And I love that you say conscious language, because that allows for you to start rewriting your story and start really creating, so you can move on from those different things that we have learned.
Absolutely. And so when we're working on conscious language, sometimes it's a little hard to grasp, because it sounds like you're almost telling a fib, because you're having to really project what your reality will be in the future, so that your mind and your subconscious can wrap around that. So sometimes that means releasing old habits and releasing old limiting beliefs that we didn't even know were keeping us in this little tiny box. And so that's one of the oils I love. Release. Release is a powerful one to just get all of that weight off of our shoulders and help us move forward with this conscious languaging. And so we're creating this, so many different things that we're able to create with just saying what we want and creating it in a very powerful way. So if you guys haven't seen, I want you to go to YouTube and type in Conscious Language by Sonia Swan. It's a great 25-minute YouTube clip.
That's so beautiful. I love that. Marissa actually pointed me in that direction of that video. And honestly, you guys, it changed my whole perspective in the way that I approach my day and the way that I manifest within my business and my finances. Because I truly believe the energy that we speak out into our finances manifests. And
absolutely.
Oh my gosh, it's changed so much, especially with maybe I want to earn a big goal financially within my business, or maybe I look in my wallet and maybe there's only a couple dollars there. Instead of instantly go into scarcity mode and be like, oh my God, like how am I going to pay my bills? Oh my God, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And it starts to create that energy towards your finances, and it will anchor in and it will create stagnation. And even, it's amazing because even Tony Robbins talks about this. I'm reading one of his amazing books right now, The Big Giant Within. And this has allowed for me to really see financial mastery and how we can create these powerful and these mental strengths so that we can handle more money. So that's what I truly believe, like this point in our lives where we're maybe financially struggling, or maybe we're not at where we want to be financially, but this is preparing us to have more money, because you have to have a strong mindset. You have to have a strong belief to have that responsibility of thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even millions, because that will allow for you to handle it appropriately and be strong within it.
I love that. I love how you're just tying all of these different pieces together and building this house.
Yes. It's really cool, like how you can watch that. With a lot of my clients, I'm like, okay, where's the foundation at? Where's the framework? Because the framework is the most important part, because that's going to be that spot that's going to hold up your roof. And that roof comes from financial goals, retirement. And those are things that we want to be realistic and think about for the future. And it's really cool to see my clients dream, because I feel like sometimes we end up losing that dream financially because we keep telling that money story to ourselves, and it's like, how am I going to have that in the future if this is happening right now? But
Yeah.
if you look forward and create that momentum and know that this is only a temporary feeling and a temporary situation, you will get to that roof in your financial house.
Absolutely. It's so true that, I mean, I know we keep nailing this one like,
Yep.
but it's so true. If you are constantly telling yourself the same story of, I can't have this isn't where my path is going, or I'm not worthy of this, or I don't deserve that raise. I didn't do enough. If there's the word enough in the sentence,
Yeah.
That's a limiting belief, guys. We got to just, cut that one off. It's not going to help. So there are actually 2 oils that I recommend for this one. And it's highest potential and then magnify your purpose.
Oh, I love that.
Those are powerhouses, guys. And these are great to have in your diffuser all the time, or even wearing them as a perfume, putting them right on your heart and taking a deep breath as soon as you put them on and reminding yourself you're worthy. Period. You don't have to give an explanation of why. You are worthy. You're worthy of whatever your heart desires. I was listening to a podcast this morning and it literally brought tears to my eyes because she was saying there's no if, ands, and buts. You don't have to listen to other people if their story and dream didn't work. They are now projecting that on you. So if you're given an amazing idea or goal and dream that pops up in your head, that's yours to follow. That no one else was given that idea except for you. So if that's popping up in your brain, it's up to you to actually follow through and get with it and push through these limiting beliefs to find that happiness inside of you because you achieved that goal that's holding in the back of your mind.
Oh my gosh, that was fantastic. No, like literally, I think I literally preach it to the world because I think that's something we really need to hear right now, especially since a lot of the world is going through financial adversity and financial uncertainty. And it's hard to not look at the now and be futuristic about your finances because we're in survival mode right now. We're rooting down in our root chakra and we're like, oh my gosh, okay, security mode. I need to make sure that I survive. And
absolutely. It's crazy. Continue. Sorry, I cut you off. I'm just like, yes.
You're like, woo! No, and it's what I have been telling a lot of my clients as well too, is to really focus on the visionary during this time because that's what's going to catapult you. And kind of connecting Marissa and Naomi's conversation, just because I do a lot of chakra work within money and it's amazing. And really, how are you revisioning and creating a vision within your finances? Because that's going to allow for you to look past all this uncertainty and adversity during this time so you can move forward and think about how am I going to manifest versus detest? How am I going to see where I'm going to end up after this? And that allows for you to start really churning those gears in your mind and really see that ultimate vision because I am calling it now. There is going to be so many millionaires and so many innovators and so many visionaries coming out of this time because that really is going to allow for us to move forward and have hope again. Yeah. So what I recommend you guys is be visionaries during this time. What are you going to create for your finances? What are you not going to accept anymore?
Absolutely. I love that you bring that up. And one of the businesses that I always love to reference when we're thinking and stuck in the scared mindset about what's next is this downtime that everyone is just accepting. They're saying, okay, everyone's taking a pause. Great. Yes, I wholeheartedly believe that you need to look within and see what's going on. But also, that doesn't mean you have to stop dreaming. That doesn't mean we have to cut off. It's not black and white. It's not one or the other. There can be a harmonious balance. And I love bringing up that Uber is actually one of those companies that came out of nothing. When just 5 years ago, we were in a situation where Uber wasn't a thing. And now it came out of a real hardship time where they weren't sure what was going to happen, but they had this amazing dream. And now literally all over the world, everyone uses Uber. I used it when I was traveling all through Asia, and I wasn't worried about it. I was so thankful that somebody had just not stopped themselves and not let their limiting beliefs hold them back. And so one of the things that I also like to mention is if you're stuck in this scared mindset and you really can't get out of anything, you're actually stuck in what's called fight or flight response. And this is, if you travel back in time with me. Just imagine this with me. We're now in caveman time, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So caveman time, we're sleeping with one eye open because we're not sure if we're sharing the cave with the bear, right?
Oh,
So
yes.
that mindset is what you are throwing yourself in right now with being scared. Your body is saying, hey, is there a bear? Is that a bear standing in front of me? And we're allowing ourselves to say, yeah, that's a bear, and I'm not going to even try to do anything about it. But now, if we fast forward again and we're back in 2020, these bear situations are actually just our fears.
Oh,
Up, and is it a real scary thing where you're unsure if you are going to live? Is there a bear in front of you about to attack you? Majority of the time, no. Majority of the time, it's just our brain going in circles and looping and looping and looping about what's next, instead of just jumping into that what's next and doing what's important now. So here's an oil for that, Indoflex. Indoflex is one of my all-time favorite oils, and I use it daily. I have an amazing green tea recipe with it because I use it with the Vitality version, so I take it internally. I put it right on my thyroid. I diffuse it all the time. It's in all of my blends that I make. You see, it's in my Embrace blend.
that's so cool. I love it.
Yeah, and so that's one of the ones that actually will help you remove yourself from that fight or flight response and remove yourself from the stress and actually bring yourself back into your body and allow you to move forward.
Yes. No, I love how you bring that one up, my friend, because I've been learning a lot about our fight and flight response. And quite honestly, you guys, don't beat yourself up for having that response, but think about how beautiful in the fact that our bodies do that our bodies want to protect us and want to nourish us and keep us safe. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a powerful tool, but also as well, we are fully capable to move out of that response, like how Marissa was talking about. And that allows for you to drive purpose. That allows for you, like, I don't accept this, I accept this.
Yes.
And that allows for you to move into, how am I going to find purpose? Where am I going to find purpose within my finances, within the abundance that I want?
Mm-hmm.
And that can come from different ways of, what is purposeful for money? What is the purpose of money in your life? What is that really created for you to want money? Because we all want money, right? We want to be financially secure. We want to be financially stable, or maybe even have that financial freedom.
Mm-hmm.
What is the purpose of that for you? Because when you come back to that purpose, that why again, that allows for you to be more grounded in that statement and allows for you to be like, wow, okay, this is the reason why I'm here. This is the reason why I'm doing this. And purpose creates action, and action creates results. So that allows for you to move in that momentum and move forward. Because even connecting with, I love connecting with my friend Naomi and Marissa's conversation, because it's amazing, especially with the crown chakra. That's where our purpose is at.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we connect. And that's where a lot of our financial, I would say, spirituality comes from. Because speaking all this out into existence, having that energy, it allows for that to be activated. So love that you guys did that. I think it's truly powerful to see how important it is to be in touch with our energetic body and be in touch with our physical body and find balance between the two.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's so crazy how these things can connect.
Yes.
And come together to build and grow and kind of push us forward. Like it's like having an army behind you and being like, yes, we're your cheerleaders and we're going to push you forward. Even if it's scary, you're going to do it.
You're super fans. I love it.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's so awesome. No, I love that you brought that up as well too, because kind of stemming back into purpose, that's where our leadership comes from even. And I know Marissa is one of the strongest leaders that I know within what she does. And it's amazing because when you are a leader, people want to follow. They see that purpose. They see that goal that you are creating behind the purpose that you're doing. And that allows for you to be strong as an entrepreneur. That creates you to be a strong head of your household. Maybe even being strong within your finances as well too, and being like, wow, I can be a leader in my finances. I can allow my money to work for me and not against me. And that's where a lot of us, I think, is the secret sauce. This is what I always tell my clients. The secret sauce is money is just a material thing. It's a piece of paper, or a nickel or a quarter, but we've created an energetic attachment to it so we can create that exchange to receive something else. So you never truly lose that money. It just was transformed elsewhere.
Yeah,
So
just an exchange.
exactly. And I think that's what we've gotten so caught up in. I know I have as well within my life, where I thought I was losing money all the time. I was pouring money, but then it comes back to you. And it might not come back to you in maybe physical money, but it comes back to you maybe in the house, maybe a new car, maybe a coach that you're investing into for your business.
Yes.
Or even how I look at it, investing money into essential oils, because I know that's going to bring abundance to me.
Yes, abundance.
Yes.
Girl, that oil is amazing. Have I already talked about abundance? I don't think so.
I don't think so. That's my mom's favorite oil, though, by the way.
Yes.
She uses on a regular basis.
Oh my goodness, abundance. Earlier this year, I did a 30-day abundance challenge with my people, and it was incredible just really having that on the forefront of your mind. So what we did is we just actually activated the oil. So we put a few drops in our hands, moved counterclockwise, took a few deep breaths, put it in our diffuser, whatever we could do to use it that day to have the abundance mindset. And this isn't always just money, and it goes kind of pairs really well with gratitude, because if you are grateful for the abundance you have in life, maybe it's an abundance of joy. Maybe it's an abundance of food. Maybe it's an abundance of gas in your car. You know, there's so many different mindsets around abundance. It's not just connected to the paper money. So if you're having this exchange, how can you see the gratitude and the gratefulness in the abundance of what you have in your life each and every day, even with this exchange?
Oh my gosh, you're giving me all types of goosebumps. I love it. It's so true. Like, man, you are so inspirational. I love it. I just had to let you know. And it's amazing that you created that. Like, I love how much you have created within the essential oil realm to benefit so many different attributes in someone's life. And especially with our conversation that we're having today, this is abundance, what Marissa and I are doing. We're providing abundance, and we're receiving abundance by helping you guys. And that's really what honestly has led me to an amazing visualization that maybe you guys can adapt into your life that I always really give to my clients. And this one has helped me so much within my life, and I hope it gives so much great value to you guys. And what I always visualize, I'm very visual. I love to see things. I love to meditate visually as well. But what I always go in and visualize is me being in a field. Because just being in an open field, the sun is shining on you, there's green grass everywhere, there's flowers everywhere, and you're walking into this field. And I'm going to kind of tell it like a story, but maybe adapt it into a visualization if you'd like. So imagine if you're walking into this field and there's flowers all around you. Maybe you hear birds, or maybe you hear animals in the background just cheering and singing along with you to this experience. And as you walk in there, you have a choice. You have a choice to think, oh, this is just a field, and you're just being in that experience. Or you have another choice to be like, wow, look at all these details, these flowers around me, this beautiful grass, the way that my feet are walking through this grass. It creates a lot of self-awareness and also abundance, because, guys, the secret is abundance is all around us. We just have to be ready to see it and receive it. And that was a huge eye-opener, especially when I was going through my yoga teacher training, that I was like, wow, I really needed to realize that it is all here. It is all present. I just need to see it and pick it up and receive it. And really look at that through your finances. Your money is not gone. Your money is not disappearing. It is being transformed. And once you start to wake up and realize, like, abundance is all around me, I'm ready to receive, abundance will come to you in so many different ways. And maybe it's not through money, but money is another abundance tool that will come to you when you give out abundance.
Absolutely. It's so true. And I love that you brought that up, because it's not the only thing. And I know we keep talking about it, but that's not the only thing. There's so many other platforms and pieces that you piece together. And it really comes down to what are you telling yourself in your head?
Yes.
That's what it is.
And it's cool that abundance is coming out. It must be the world needs to hear that today. And I'm grateful that we're chatting about that. And really kind of stemming from, where is your money mindset and how does that align with abundance? And I really want to leave you guys with that. Like, how are you approaching your day when it comes to your money? And I know it is a difficult time to really kind of work through that, but really think about it. What is the vision after this? It's time to see a vision, because we are moving out of this dark place into light again. So I know, like, with everything that we have experienced as a globe and as a world, what are you going to do different in your life that maybe somebody else couldn't? Or maybe you can do it and be an inspiration to somebody else.
Absolutely. I love that. I absolutely love. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much for telling us that. And so one of the tools that I actually love to recommend when we're talking about money mindset is writing down what our beliefs are, what our current beliefs are. So basically it's like a brain dump, but I want you to take out pen and paper. That's what the important part is, pen and paper. So it listens to your subconscious. It's physical. So with this pen and paper, you've written down all of your beliefs about money. And then I want you to write a second list of the beliefs that you want to have about money. How can you shift what you have now into this new reality? And that's literally conscious languaging your money beliefs into a new one. And those are the affirmations that then you tell yourself for maybe the next 30 days.
Oh my gosh, love that you bring that up. It's like higher self versus lower self. One of my mentors has been telling me that. And it's like, really start to see who is your higher self? How do they think about money? Maybe write that down as you start writing those out the next few days.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Jackie. Let's hear some ways to connect with you.
Oh man, guys. So, oh my gosh, it's an amazing opportunity to be on this social media platform. I just love how I'm always grateful for technology every day, because that's where I get to connect and where I get to make my income from. And I really welcome you guys to come join me within my Facebook group, The Business Creatives. It's such an amazing platform for those to come together and co-create and network. I'm a huge believer in community and networking, and that's really what the space that I'm creating in that group. And I know I'll definitely be tagging it down below so you guys can come join me. And feel free, if you need a resource when it comes to finances, if you're needing guidance, if you're needing love in that area, I would love to be that powerful resource and driver for you to maybe start reconsidering different ways that you can look at your money in your business and maybe even just in your personal finances. So I'd love to connect. You can connect with me on here, Jackie J. Potter. I'll be probably tagged in this as well too.
Yes,
so you can
absolutely.
click right through me and add me on Facebook. And also my Instagram is just how it is, Jackie J. Potter. So I'd love to be friends with you and connect with you. And thank you so much for having me on here, Marissa. This has been fantastic. I always love our chats.
I do too. I always love Jackie and I have a standing Wednesday morning appointment, and we just chat and, throw ideas and brain dump and tell each other our successes of the week. And I love that it's on a week by week basis. And guys, if you don't have somebody that you can check in and share your wins with, guys, get one. You need it. You need this powerhouse team. And I just wanted to let you know that Jackie is really good at what she does. And so we will be tagging her. We'll be loving all of the things that are going on in her group. We actually chatted on a different topic in her group. So you're definitely going to want to go check that out. It's a fun class. And yes. And then if you are curious about these limiting beliefs and what you need to, what's the first step? You know that they're there. You've done the exercise that I just recommended, but you're just like, oh, I'm not sure where to go next. I'm doing a class Monday night. It's going to be on the feelings kit. And these are breaking down a few of the oils that actually give you a routine and a 30-day process of how to break through these limiting beliefs. And so I would love to have you guys there. And I will hopefully see you soon. Yeah.
Yes, I love this, you guys. Thank you so much for having me be on here. And honestly, I just hope that I really created that value for you and really provided you just a whole new way of looking at your life. That's always the goal. So I'm so grateful.
Great. I'm so glad we could be here. We'll talk soon, okay?
All right. Bye, girl.
Bye.